is Adrienne Montgomery with ERP VAR. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the new way to process payments in Sage. And I've got Patty Benitez, Senior Vice President of Channel Sales over at APS Payments, Jeff Cole, Executive Vice President Sales, APS Payments, and Terry Wilhelm is with us. Thank you so much, Terry, Director of Operations over at K&K Interiors. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Patty to kick off the presentation. Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you, Adrienne, for the introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today and allowing us the opportunity to introduce the new and improved way to process credit card transactions within Sage 100 and Sage 300. Today's agenda, let's cover it briefly. We're going to talk a little bit about APS. We really want you to get to know our company, who we are, what we represent. We want to share with you many of the payment processing challenges that we hear from our merchants when they're switching over to APS. Today's spotlight is on K&K. We're going to be interviewing the representative from K&K today, and thank you very much for that. We'll also talk about the key features in this credit card processing solution and actually show you what they look like within Sage 100 today. Keep in mind, I'm going to be showing Sage 100, but the features are available for Sage 300 as well. And then the way that APS sets apart from the rest of the payment credit card processors in the industry. We will also talk about next steps. This is who we are. Take a look. The hot chick, center left, that's me. And then we have Liz Anderson and we have Jeff Cole, if you could see him at the lower left. These are our presenters for today. Wanted to make sure you all got to know us. This is our team, fully dedicated to all of our merchants, to all of our partners. APS is definitely the most flexible, integrated payment processor in the industry. Not only do we provide 100% PCI compliance assistance, we also provide tokenized credit card data. We have a 100% partner-centric approach and a fully dedicated training team. Now, what I mean by that is not only do we provide the credit card processing enhancement at no charge, but all of the features and functionality that are added, such as the click to pay. We are proud to be ranked as a top 100 acquirer in the United States by the Nielsen report. And yes, the Inc. 5000 list for America's fastest growing companies, we've been on that list 2 years in a row. We have over 250 ERP, e-commerce, point of sale, shopping cart, and mobile integrations. And if you don't see one of the items that you would like to integrate with on our website, let us know and we'd be happy to start working on integration with that product line as well. We offer 24/7 live support. Now, I really want to underline this because nowadays it's a luxury to speak to a human being when you call a vendor. And in our case, you are guaranteed a live human being on the other side of the line anytime you call our support line. 96%, and we are striving to get to that 100%, but right now, 96% of our merchants would recommend us. 96% of companies that we work with are tremendously happy with what they've received from us. We are, again, as I mentioned before, Let's talk a little bit about the challenges. Most of these challenges are being reported by our existing merchants. These are the reasons they would switch to APS payments. The duplicate entry time. Everyone knows how time consuming that can be. And when you do not have an integrated solution, that time is definitely prone to errors, or the entry is prone to errors. Believe it or not, most people do not understand their current merchant statements. They don't understand the fees, where they're coming from. Why are they getting billed the amounts that they're getting billed? This in its own is tremendous. Most 80%, and I'll go through a slide about this as well, but 80% of merchants do not know what level 3 processing is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this webinar, this is the most important part of it. Level 3 processing can literally bring your rates down by 43%. And guess what? You have to do nothing other than process with APS. As I mentioned, our customer support is available live, and that's something that many people are concerned about because they do not have that with their existing processors. Another very I would say, annoying issue that everybody runs into is the lack of centralized reporting. You have to go to one system for a certain report, another for the next report, etc. And then not to mention the fact that if you'd like to process internationally, which is very common nowadays, you're not able to do so with many processors. So these are some of the challenges that we will be addressing during today's presentation. Let's talk a little bit about the old ways of processing credit card transactions. That was back in my time, right? I'm almost 25, just to clear things out. The orders were taken over the phone. You would enter, or email or fax, you would enter the orders into Sage, accept check payments, and then the systems were not integrated, so you'd have to process your credit card outside of Sage and then key in the card information, right? Well, here's the new way. Now with multi-channel ordering, you have self-serve and digital payments, and of course the systems are integrated. Your payment processor should accommodate, we allow your customers to pay online, and their payment resides within Sage accounts receivable immediately. You will have increased data security, improved visibility and reporting, of course. That also will include better cash flow and customer experience, and not to mention the level 3 savings that I keep telling you about. Now let's talk a little bit about a survey that we actually started looking at, and the survey is key here because you can see what most merchants are looking at right now. The challenge is basically to reduce the cost of procurement without compromising controls and visibility, right? A card-based or digital payment solution can lower direct transaction processing costs as well as improve compliance and controls, especially for low-value but high-frequency payments. Now, the good news is the survey group consistently observed that cards increase their control and visibility on the overall procurement process, as well as this card reduce overheads and administrative costs compared to traditional payments mechanisms. Now, almost half of the respondents also noted an improvement in their cash flow management. The simplicity and speed of payment results in improved relationships with their suppliers, indicating that the benefits of using cards flow onto the supplier side as well. So take a look at the numbers here. The numbers, as you know, never lie. And now with this, I'd like to hand it over to you, Jeff.
Perfect. Thank you, Patty. Well done. And Adrian for the introduction. We do have Terry Wilhelm on the call, Director of Operations from K&K Interiors. We appreciate you taking the time, Terry. I do have a couple of questions we're going to go through just so everyone can better understand your experience with APS and using the new integrated solution currently on Sage 300. First of all, Terry, can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Basically, our company, we've been in business for 23 years. We're in the wholesale business with a retail division in the state of Ohio, and hopefully to expand that. We sell home decor, jewelry, and women's fashion to retail stores actually around the world.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Thank you. And were you using a credit card solution before APS? And if that's the case, what was the solution and what were some of the challenges you were facing with that solution?
When K&K first started out, I'm in my 18th year here, and we were actually using a credit card terminal. So we were manually keying in every credit card, every expiration date, every CVV code. So, and then we advanced then to, with our internal IT department, we started barcoding our orders, which had the credit card information on it. Still, though, requiring human intervention on every single credit card. And then we went to Sage 300, transitioned over there, and then implemented the APS system, which actually has eliminated most all human intervention when it comes to charging credit cards.
Oh, fantastic. That definitely helps with human error as well. How did you hear about APS and what was your decision as far as pursuing the solution?
Through our partners with DataQuest, they were a huge help and assisted us in designing an economical feature that would authorize charging the credit cards, customers' credit cards, without the human intervention, and as well as the credits that have to be made to the customers as well.
Okay, thanks for that. And then ultimately, what made you decide to move forward with APS as the best solution for you? Was there anything particular?
We found it to be a real good fit with DataQuest and what they had to offer us and how they designed it for K&K as well. We have numerous transactions per day. We can have as many as 250 credit cards to 300 credit cards a day that we have to process. So that equates to about 8 hours of one person just manually doing our credit card transactions. And then, so what we did was, with their help, by implementing the solutions and what worked best for K&K, the partnership, we just thought it was the best fit for our business.
Okay, so it sounds like you saved quite a bit of time by using an integrated solution. And we know time and solution is important, but ultimately, what was the savings annually? Were you able to save some money with the level 3 processing, and what did that look like for you annually?
$40,000 plus.
Wow, nice. Okay, fantastic. And then ultimately, I mean, what would you tell others who are thinking of working potentially with APS payments?
Basically, it's a fast and it's a simple process. It's basically hitting one key, hitting that enter button, and it goes. Everything's done behind the scenes. While you can move on to do other things, and it saves on your labor costs, it saves on supplies, it saves on many, many telephone conversations, of which you have to return phone calls are being returned, etc. So I would say that's probably the best.
Okay, fantastic. And then overall, what's the best thing that you found once you've implemented, now you're working with APS payments, besides obviously being able to work with Patty Benitez? What would you find is the best thing about working with us?
I think with the automated systems, with us being able to authorize and charging and credit cards without human intervention, attempts, also it was introduced to us too through DataQuest that several attempts are made to authorize the credit card before customer intervention then if needed, whether it be getting another credit card or getting a new credit card. The customer is contacted by email after each attempt is made, after a certain number, or even after a denial is made, a declined credit card. They're also informed of that too. If there's no then response to those, then that's when we have to pick up the phone. But again, it's those attempts that are made, and then several times the customer ends up calling us back because they did receive an email. So everything about automation definitely saves time and money.
Fantastic. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Terry. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to be with us today, and everyone else that is attending this event. So with that, I will hand it back over to Patty. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry. Really appreciate your participation, your partnership, and also DataQuest. One thing to point out also, ladies and gentlemen, is that initially when we approached, or when K&K and DataQuest approached us, the realizable IMINS we did not actually have a connection with realizable IMINS solution, and because of the participation of Mark Binkley at DataQuest, we were actually able to sort through K&K's specific requirements and write the integration in conjunction, of course, with our partners. Now, a lot of the times we will do this at no cost to the merchant. If there is a cost involved, we try to make sure that we give them enough savings to justify the cost of the development. So as you can see, there was a large savings involved. There was also a connection that was written specifically for K&K, and that is definitely something that APS strives to deliver, a full solution regardless of the specific requirements to third-party products, shopping carts, e-commerce solutions, or point-of-sale solutions. Thank you again, Terry and Jeff. And let's move on here with the presentation. I was telling you that one of the biggest complaints that we receive is that the merchant statement is simply not understandable. Many merchants don't know why they're getting the fees that they're getting on the statement. So a lot of it has to do with the fee structures. We want to make sure that our merchants understand exactly what is causing the fees and why, right? So let's talk about the 3 rate structures that are available in the industry: the flat rate, tiered rate, and interchange plus. Now, what you'll find is that many customers prefer the flat rate type of fee structure because it's the most, I would say, the easiest to understand, and it makes it easy for you to reconcile. The flat rate, as you know, is just one rate across the board, Now, the setback here is that if you do sign a flat rate contract, you are not able to take advantage of the programs that are put in place by the card brands, such as the level 3 pricing, right? Level 3, as I mentioned before, can potentially lower your rates by 43%. But if you sign the flat rate contract, the processor gets to keep that. Now, the tiered pricing, you can see on the screen, it basically has the processor create 3 different tiers. The non-qualified, mid-qualified, and fully qualified type of transaction will appear on your statement. 99% of the time when we analyze statements that have the tiered pricing, we find that the transactions, the majority of the transactions are not qualified. When we ask the merchant to explain the criteria behind the reasons why each transaction will go into the different buckets, they don't know what that criteria is. So needless to say, the processor controls exactly where each transaction falls into, and needless to say again, most of the transactions are not qualified, giving the merchant the highest rate possible. And then there's Interchange Plus. We find that Interchange Plus is the most transparent type of fee structure. Why? Because you get the hard cost from the card brand directly to the merchant, right? That is exactly what's being passed through, the hard cost from the card brand. So you know that the card brand cost is non-controllable by the processor. You're getting the direct card brand cost, and then you negotiate a markup fee with the processor. Most processors will put that markup fee in writing for you, so you don't have to worry about the rates fluctuating. So let's talk about level 3 processing. As I mentioned, this is key because it could help you save up to 43% with any business-to-business or business-to-government transaction. And it is available with Interchange Plus pricing. Now, it's been available since 2012, and I mentioned to you at the beginning, most companies do not know what it is. 80% of companies are not taking advantage of it. The average savings is about $18,000 per year. And let me just tell you the record-breaking savings that we just encountered last week, over $400,000 in savings to one company simply by processing through Sage 100 Level 3. Now, Visa and MasterCard want to verify that you are a U.S.-based company, that you're processing a business-to-business or business-to-government transaction in order to qualify your transactions for Level 3. These are the data fields that Visa and MasterCard require in order to provide you with the Level 3 rates. Now, you don't have time to go in and key in each one of these fields. So what we've done is we've automated the process. We take the fields from Sage, deliver them to Visa, MasterCard on your behalf, and you instantly get the Level 3 savings. Take a look at a true analysis on the screen. In this case, we were able to provide an average of 30% savings per the monthly volume. It's $128,000 a year. And you can see that we were able to save this particular merchant who had a tiered structure originally. We moved them to Interchange Plus, saved them almost $1,400 per month. This is average. So if there are any third-party products that you're interested in, if you've been holding off on the upgrade to Sage, if you want assistance with paying your Sage maintenance, here it is. We will help you offset the cost of any of those items by simply processing with Level 3. Now, take a look at what your existing statement, an itemized picture of the different types of card brands that you're receiving with the exact rates and fees that you're going to be charged. So there is no question left on the table with regards to why am I paying this or how much am I paying for this type of card that I just accepted. In addition to providing you with Level 3, there are other key features that APS offers. Now, we provide, as I mentioned, the software at no cost. Installation, implementation, and training is also available at no charge to you. We offer daily automatic batch reporting, multi-currency capabilities, EMV and chip readers are available, and then we also have the click-to-pay functionality. As I mentioned in the beginning, also the Level 3 savings are there and the 24/7 live support. We also have a team dedicated exclusively to making sure that you become and remain PCI compliant at no charge. And I know that some of you are getting billed for that right now. So now let's talk about Click to Pay. Click to Pay allows you to send out statements Allows you to send out your invoices through paperless office. And what we've done is, on the body of the invoice, we included a Pay Now button. It basically allows your customers to submit their payments online. So I'm going to step outside of the PowerPoint and jump right into the Click to Pay presentation. Now, what I did is I created an invoice and I sent it to my customer, right? Now you can see I'm going to step over to the customer side of things, and this is the invoice that my customer just received. Now they can receive one or multiple invoices. This is a standard crystal form. Now you can give your customers the option to pay via credit card as well as ACH. Once they receive the invoice, they can click on the Click to Pay button, and they will be sent to the secured area where they are able to see information regarding the specific invoice that you sent, down to the line item detail, as you can see here. At that point, they can decide to make their payment. Once they decide to make their payment, they will see some of the options that you offered. In this case, you're saying you can pay the full balance or a custom amount. They will also see any outstanding invoices. Now, notice how the total is $407.40. If I start clicking on additional invoices, we will auto-increment the total for your customer, and they are able to pay for all invoices, or some. Now, they can go ahead and continue, and because you gave them the option to pay using ACH or credit card, they would see the option there. They can also save their payment for future use, or use a previously saved payment method, and click Continue. Now, if they have used Click to Pay in the past, they will have their postal code saved, and it will only be 3 fields that they have to fill in. Otherwise, they will have to fill in the 4 fields that you see on the screen and submit their payment. Now, once they submit their payment, we will verify everything is correct. If it isn't, they will get pop-up windows indicating any discrepancies, such as the CVV code is not a match or the address is not a match. If the transaction went through, they will get a success notification, as you can see it here. And you can also set up the system to send out a standard looking receipt like this one here. So it's very straightforward. Now, here is stepping back into your shoes, what you would have to do in order to capture the funds at the end of the day. You will actually be able to go into cash receipts and into your cash receipts deposit. And what you're going to notice is that we've added an APS Click to Pay button. When you click on that button, it will pull any Click to Pay payments that were made that day from any customer. And you won't have to rekey them in, because now they will be in the system for you, and you can go ahead and complete your transaction as you would do so at the end of day. Now, once you complete the transaction, we're going to capture the funds. Level 3 will also apply, and you will be finished with that payment without the need to enter any data manually. Before I conclude this presentation, I wanted to show you how simple it is to turn on the Click to Pay in Library Customer Maintenance. You can see, very easy to turn on. And also wanted to show you that if you are currently processing within Sage, I should say, you can continue the same process. All of the other type of functionality will remain the same. You can still enter credit cards within Customer Maintenance in your Additionals tab, as you can see here. You can still process orders within Sales Order, Invoice Data Entry, as well as Accounts Receivable, Cash Receipts, and apply payments directly against invoices. So as far as Sage is concerned, you can see you won't lose any of the functionality, and we will be adding the Click to Pay functionality, as well as the advantage that Level 3 offers you with savings. We also integrate to multiple other ERPs, as you can see on the screen. And now I just want to be a little bit more detailed as far as how it is that you're able to take advantage of APS and how we outshine the rest. We are embedded into Sage 100 with Click to Pay, EMV terminals, detailed by line item is provided, and the savings with Level 3, as well as the 24/7 support. Now, how do you know if you would be a good target for APS payments, if you would be someone that can benefit from us? Anyone who's taking credit card payments from all industries, especially those that are accepting business-to-business payments. The key role to discuss The payments, of course, would be anyone in the company, the owner, the CFO, VP of Finance, or Controller. If anybody is interested in a free audit of your current rates and fees, and I promise you there will be no strings attached. We're happy to walk you through your current statement, explain exactly where the fees are coming from, show you exactly where there's room for savings, and provide you with our proposed rates and fees. If you're interested, it's very simple. Send us a couple of your most recent merchant statements. We will analyze them, contact you, provide you with the analysis results, and walk you through your existing workflow process within Sage 100. If we are not able to beat or match any competitors' rates or fees, we will pay you $500 for simply allowing us to analyze your statements. Ladies and gentlemen, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain, and much more to learn as far as your statements. Do not let any more of those fees or any more of that money stay sitting on the table. Take it back. It belongs to you, and we can teach you how to take it back. And with that, I'd like to just thank everybody again for joining us. If you are interested in this audit, please feel free to contact Patricia Benitez. You can see her contact information on the screen. And Adrian, if you wouldn't mind closing it up, thank you very much for your time.
So thanks again, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.